Every story has two sides. The police side of this story was extraordinary. Jack Wighton was observed by a member of the Australian Federal Police to behave in such a violent and aggressive manner whilst enjoying his 30th birthday that he ought to be turned out of Fiction nightclub and excluded from the city. Sergeant Power told the court that the aggressive behaviour he observed by Mr Wighton was so serious it would amount to a criminal offence of some sort, like an affray or assault. Mr Wighton was given 10 minutes to leave the city. After Mr Wighton had been excluded and the group was leaving, Latrell Mitchell posed such a threat that police thought it necessary to take him to ground, so he was completely restrained. In that process, police accused Mr Mitchell of resisting police in the lawful execution of their duty. The other side of the story, that being the truth of what happened, needs to be told. Whilst in Fiction nightclub, Mr Wighton did not engage in any violent or aggressive. He was enjoying his 30th birthday with friends and family, laughing, dancing and having fun. The observations of Mr Wighton were and remain a fantasy. He did nothing wrong and was excluded unlawfully. Only Sergeant Power truly knows why he gave false evidence and why he chose to do so in those incredible circumstances. Latrell Mitchell, on the other hand, was grabbed by one police officer who conducted an armbar takedown. An armbar takedown is a police tactic which involves the application of force, generally accompanied by pain, to take a person to ground. Two other police officers arrived, grabbing hold of Mr Mitchell. He was told to get on his knees. He complied. He was then forced to the ground, where he lay face down on the concrete, screaming in pain. He was compliant. He was put into various positions, at which time police kneed and elbowed him in the head and back. There was absolutely no need by police to use the level of force that Mr Mitchell endured. No person should be subjected to the treatment he endured. Mr Wighton and Mr Mitchell had exchanged words whilst walking away from the Fiction nightclub. However, that exchange did not involve a fight of any kind, which is what was alleged against them. The whole incident became violent once the police became involved. This case requires a serious review. I understand the ACT Attorney General is aware of the case and is proposing a review once the outcome is made public. Mr Mitchell and Mr Wighton are proud Indigenous men who have been subject to the power of police acting oppressively, violently and outside the law. Indigenous people are 17 times more likely to be arrested than non-Indigenous people. In 2021, Indigenous adults were imprisoned at 14 times the rate of non-Indigenous adults. Today's outcome was the right outcome, but could have been so much worse. What might have happened if Sergeant David Power's evidence was never tested by competent counsel and his wrongful allegations against Mr Wighton never uncovered? What if Mr Mitchell was convicted for resisting police officers in the lawful execution of their duty in circumstances where he was brutally taken to the ground and subjected to inhumane treatment, although he had done nothing to justify that? Mr Mitchell and Mr Wighton might have become further sad statistics. There is a sobering reality to the way Mr Mitchell was dealt with by the police. 3 to 4 grown men forced themselves on top of him face down in the concrete. But for his extraordinary strength, he might not have survived. Any other person could have died from positional asphyxiation. We know Indigenous people are dying in custody. We know Indigenous people are more likely to be arrested. We know Indigenous people are more likely to be incarcerated. We need to do better as a community. Due to the courage of Mr Mitchell and Mr Wighton to push back against these false allegations, they've been able to clear their names, but not everyone gets that chance. Police serve an integral part of our community and are given great power to do that important job. This case serves as a lesson, albeit an unfortunate lesson, that police allegations cannot always be taken at face value. Every story has two sides, and Mr Mitchell and Mr Wighton have been able to tell theirs.